Hi, this is Sofia Wren, and today I'm going to talk about what is an empath, and are you an empath? In this video, you're going to be able to find out, and I'll also be giving you tips on what you can do if you are one. Now, this has a lot in common with things like being a highly sensitive person, being an introvert, but I'm not going to compare and contrast today. What I'm going to get into is empathy. So, who am I? My name is Sofia Wren, and I work with sensitive and passionate women with a dream of helping people in a big way. A lot of times that's through a business or through creativity, but they're feeling really overwhelmed. They don't know what to do next. There's something missing, and they're also afraid to come out of hiding with who they really are. So I help them to speak up about what they really think and feel and what they want to be offering so they can bust through the limits on their money and on their life that they want to be living, doing what they want to be doing, and having extra for fun things. That includes speaking up and being yourself and always knowing what to do next because you can hear and trust your intuition coming through. Really important stuff. But so back to you. I want to know if you've ever had any of the following negative symptoms of being an empath. And don't worry, there's a positive side too, but I want to get into what things people often experience when they don't know that they're an empath yet and they haven't learned the tools that can help them to thrive. So here's a couple examples. So do you ever feel like you just can't get rested all the way? You have this fatigue or this drain that is always present because you're trying really hard to do your best. You might even be up at night thinking, am I doing this right? Did I do that wrong today? What am I going to do tomorrow? Like, how can I say the right things or look the right way or say this the right manner and do everything right that I need to get done? I know that fear and stress of letting people down, disappointing people, having them see you in a different way that's not what they originally thought, something negative, or being misunderstood. A lot of empaths feel so misunderstood, and deep down they feel a little bit lonely, like no one really gets them, and they have to hide who they really are behind a mask. Because people are different. If you are an empath, you are sensitive to other people's emotions and feelings in a way that not everybody is. It's a certain percentage of people, maybe like 10 or so percent of people that are very tuned into others. So most people don't understand what that's like. You might feel like you need to change who you are to fit in or to be successful, that other people have expectations of you, and in comparison to that, you might feel like you're being criticized, or you might feel like you're weak or not enough because you just can't handle what other people can handle. You're often overwhelmed by things before other people are, and you might think like, what's wrong with me? And at the same time, though, you can also be very adaptable and capable in the end. But to do so, sometimes you just get so worn down that being successful doesn't even seem fulfilling or satisfying by the time you get it. But at least somebody else got happy. People pleasing is a big symptom of people who are empathic and don't realize that in the end it doesn't serve others to always be pleasing them. But the lines between what other people want and what you want can be so blurry that it's really difficult to navigate life. You also could have people say, hey, you need to have boundaries, or boundaries are really important. And you could say, sure. But you have no idea how to really make that happen in your life because you're trying to do your best. You're trying to make people happy. You're trying to be happy, but it just seems so confusing where to draw the line between others and yourself and their needs and your needs, because you just get so happy to make others happy too. So, some other things that can happen, or you might feel like you struggle in a unique way from the people around you. You might be more distracted by people who are angry or upset, and it could just be their tone or the way that they look, or maybe they are criticizing you, and you just don't feel like you have the walls to protect you sometimes. And that means you can get your heart broken easily. You can feel like you're a little naive and the world is a harsh reality. Maybe you feel like you keep getting burned by people. They keep stepping on you or not seeing your real potential. And here you are giving, 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 but getting something back is really hard. And sometimes you give from the heart and you just give, but then later on you might feel resentful or sad that people didn't value you. Or you don't have anything to show for it now. You can't pay your bills or things like that. A lot of empaths have trouble with money. A lot of them have trouble, especially if they're starting a business or pricing art or something like that, to feel like it's okay to do that. Or they go over in their sessions with people, or they have a residual feeling after they hang out with others, after they work with people who are troubled or have strong emotions. It can kind of be like they pick up on some of that, and it just feels off. It feels gross. It feels like they need to take an emotional shower, but sometimes it can be really hard to shake that off and relax and be calm and peaceful and whole by themselves. And it seems weird because other people don't really seem to need as much alone time as an empath, and they might not build that into schedules of events or things like that. Family is often really overwhelming because there's so many of them, so many emotions and ties, and it can be really hard to be yourself around family. There's also sometimes something that we do where we feel really numb, where we lose track of what makes us happy because we're just acting like a robot, and we do have walls protecting us now, but they're so strong and they're so intense that we can't really feel happy anymore. And it feels like we're doing all these things and maybe people are praising us, but it's not getting skin deep. It's not touching us to the core, because that's almost too scary to let people in because we've been hurt so many times before. And a lot of us have wounds that have come from people that we've loved and things that we've learned from them that didn't make us feel so good about ourselves. And that can really harm us in our relationships and in our career, in our friendships, and our ability to be happy on our own. So that's something that I have personally gone through a lot. And I can tell you that there is a good side to it. But for a long time, I always thought being so sensitive was a curse. I remember my stepmother calling me a big baby and realizing that even at 9 or 10, that it wasn't safe to be myself. It wasn't safe to let people know what I really thought or what I really needed. And then often I'd be criticized or met with anger or disappointment or frustration that I needed all these things. And I got really tired of that because I was sensitive to it. And although I wasn't able to put my finger on what was going on, I knew that it made me really unhappy to make other people unhappy. So I decided to be so independent and so, not needing anybody else's help that I actually kind of distanced myself, withdrew, and I didn't really let anybody know when I needed something. It was just like something turned off inside of me. I just didn't even seem like an option. And I always consider myself a loyal, good friend, but I had a lot of friends spread rumors about me too. And I just really shut down my ability to know what I liked, because what I liked was spirituality and new agey stuff and goddesses, and people were calling me a witch, and that was really scary. Like, I wasn't trying to cause anybody harm. But I didn't want that reaction, so I just completely abandoned who I was before anybody else could. And that was a huge disservice to myself. But it's a part of my story, and I really hid. And now, over many, 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 many years, many healers, many teachers, many experiences that could take me all day to go through, I can tell you now that I'm seen as myself. I'm open about everything that I am. And you can ask me. I will tell you all the business. And it feels really good because not everybody will like me, but I've been able to now have a flexible kind of distance, but boundary, something that can keep me from feeling everything that other people are feeling around me, but allow me to still be in tune with the people that matter to me, like the people that I love and the people that I work with, so that I can help them better, be of service, and also feel those amazing feelings of love and acceptance and joy and admiration, adoration, all those things I always wanted for people to reflect to me and for me to receive in my heart, in addition to success in my business and creatively. I could go on and on about the changes in my life, but I want to tell you now about the benefits of being an empath and where you can go. So things are like, you can really feel things. You can really feel love and joy and wonder and beauty and compassion and tolerance and understanding. And the deep desire to be of service is just so beautiful and rich and complex. A complex medley of emotions. Sometimes it can be, if it's negative collection, it can be really that overwhelming, but other times it can be this amazing collection of wonderful emotions that we can feel all of these things, and we can also be of service to a huge number of people because we're just so tuned into humanity and human beings. We know people better than other people do. We can give really good advice sometimes, and we can understand how someone might react to different kinds of things and set it up so that way it goes the best. We can arrange an environment like an event or the office and have it be really practical and really allowing people to live in a good way. We have so many skills. And in fact, because we're taking in all of this information from other people as an empath or as this person sensitive to other people's emotions, we have kind of this emotional intelligence. We have a different kind of skill set that not everybody has because we're taking in all of this different information, just naturally being who we are. And that allows us to be better communicators, to be more intuitive, to be more creative, and have all of those things that come out of our mouth or out of our hands or pen. Anything that we create is going to be of greater service to others because we have a better understanding of others. And I really think that it gives us a unique perspective. And it's the kind of perspective that leaders should have, as the people who make decisions in the world should have. So that way we have a world that respects human beings to the max. And I think that we're in a very important subset of the human race that hasn't had a lot of support and understanding so far because we are on the higher side of the spectrum of understanding of others. We can be really capable and adaptive to other people's moods and just sort of like meet them where they are. And that's really important because if you've ever met somebody who's a huge blockhead, it can be really frustrating to try to get them to see where you are and what you're feeling and have them to accept that you're having emotions that they might not be familiar with. We usually are familiar with that. And I think we also have this curiosity about people that makes us really great in any kind of human resource or customer service area. Anything with people, we just do really well once we can get everything flowing smoothly in our life. The passion for helping people, though, I think is one of our biggest gifts. And that's why I love working with people who are sensitive, especially to other people, because we can do some amazing work in the world. And I'm just so happy to have worked with a few people to really help them to be able to enjoy things like family gathering or to go visit someone in the hospital and be able to handle all of the different things going around them without feeling as much pain as they could have or as much drain as they could have. And a lot of them find that at the end of the day there's a huge difference after they use the tools that I teach them in having more energy to do the things that they want to do for themselves. And that could be, organizing their house or having their hobby, their creative passion. But ultimately, that's giving them freedom in their life to do what they want to be doing. And we all have hard decisions sometimes where other people just don't see the world as us and they don't know what's best for us. And we have to make those decisions on our own. And sometimes we need to be able to turn on and off the information we're getting from people and everything in between. Because sometimes there's the ends. There's nothing, all or nothing. And we want to find middle ground so that way we can have shades of understanding of others and shades of being connected to ourselves when it suits the situation. So I want to let you know that I have a whole program around this. But what's important for you to understand is that the old way of looking at the world is that everybody here is born with the same stuff. And I would say that's definitely wrong. All of us, it has an individual spark, but we all do share a certain human condition that's the same, right? Most of our DNA is similar. But wouldn't it make sense if some people were, like existed and continue to be a part of the human race because they tended to be extremely helpful to others by understanding their emotional side, understanding the human condition because they understand the people around them and they're tuned into other people and their needs, maybe even anticipate them before they're made clear verbally because they pick it up from their posture, from that electromagnetic field that all of us radiate. They can tell when someone is feeling different things. Wouldn't that make sense that people could evolve to be tuned into people? Wouldn't that be helpful to the human race? So wouldn't it make sense that some people have these gifts and maybe other people have been a part of the human race to do other things, like to be really good at engineering, to be really good with animals, to be really good with children. We all have so many different skills, and some of them are natural to us, are natural to the way our brain works, the way our nervous system works, and the way our natural strength is. We have so many differences too. So we need to understand that it's not a matter of failure to fit into the norm of other people if you find that you're more sensitive or you're having certain struggles. Perhaps you are different. Perhaps what you need to do is embrace that you're different and learn ways that you can thrive being different, being unique, something that is going to work for you and is going to allow you to drive the rest of your life by your own compass instead of giving it up to the universe, to the powers that be, to the world, or other people in your sphere that might not really understand your unique differences. Don't you want to have choice in this life to really, and freedom to do whatever you want? I mean, I can tell you it's extremely exhilarating. And also the freedom of doing things and not having to worry so much about other people's judgments or disappointing other people when really I'm not harming anybody by being weird. I'm just me. It's great. And I want that for you. So I have a whole step-by-step system to thriving as a sensitive person. It's called Sacred Armor. It's a collection of different techniques I've created, and I'd love to tell you more. I actually have a way for you to get a sneak peek this month on the Sacred Armor e-course. Some free videos for you. So what you need to do is you need to go to sofiawren.com/sacred armor, and you can sign up there right now. You're going to get information as soon as it comes out, and I want you to know that it's really common to blame yourself for any of those things I said that were negative, because a lot of us have been raised with this idea of you gotta be strong, you gotta have resilience, like it's this act of will to be able to be different. But our nervous system, our body, has other ideas sometimes. It has its own sensitivities, and we have to be loving to ourselves and compassionate to ourselves that maybe there isn't something wrong with us after all. Maybe we just haven't had the understanding or the opportunities to develop ourselves, certain gifts of ours, as much as others, just because of the way our society is built, and it leans towards the majority. So it's okay to be a little different and special in your own way. So I really hope you have had some information that will help you to understand if you are an empath. And again, if you'd like to learn some more if you want to learn some more about what you can do as an empath to manage your sensitivities to other people's feelings, then go ahead to sofiawren.com/sacred armor. And in this course, it's going to really help you to push through the limitations of being sensitive and find success by your own definition, and finally really be happy, not just because you feel like you're supposed to be, but because you really are and you found a way to live that really honors yourself. I know that your perspective is going to change the world, but I think that it's important that for them you come to work with yourself and your own unique differences and to follow your intuition, which is programmed to guide you through your life. I really believe that we all have everything that we need inside of us, but sometimes we just need a little bit of help to allow it to bloom like a rose. So thank you so much. This has been Sofia Wren. It's been lovely talking to you. And come to sofiawren.com/sacred armor for more information about how to manage your empathy. Thanks so much.